Well, now it is, we've got these schools out in the bush where we've sent teachers out to teach. And we're not really sure if our teachers are out there. I mean, we're pretty sure, but the way it all has to work is a teacher that is out in the bush. Remember I said that there are no checking accounts, no savings accounts. They don't have banking accounts. So everything is a cash society. So the way it would work is we would station a teacher out in the middle of the bush, and they might walk all day, sometimes day and night, to come into town to the school district to pick up their salary. And we wanted to monitor a little bit more, just kind of show up at the school unannounced and see if the teacher was actually there teaching. You know, because there's nobody out there monitoring anything. So this was another big one for us. We also wanted to take those books that we had brought over out to the village schools. We needed a vehicle, and it just came down to we had to buy a Toyota Land Cruiser. It had to have a snorkel on it. We went through the Ministry of Education in Lusaka, and because we were warned that if we brought a vehicle from Dar es Salaam, of course, which is the port city, the nearest port city to our schools in the north, then when you get to the border, the people at the border can charge you astronomical taxes to get into the country. And I've heard of just stories and stories of containers being held up at borders, and the border wants $100,000 to get through the border, and they end up just abandoning the container, and many places won't even send a container up to these places. So to bring a vehicle, we don't know how much it's going to be taxed. So I promised the Zambian government that we would turn the vehicle over to their school district to use, and also our employees to use, but it could be their vehicle if they could guarantee that we wouldn't have to pay taxes at the border. So we had all the signed papers, we had everything in order. The next thing, the challenge was going to be money. We thought that we would take enough money for the whole trip, but we needed to take cash. And if you've ever brought $20,000 cash, you're really not supposed to bring that much on the airplane. You even have to sign a paper that says, you know, you're not bringing so much cash into the country. So we did clever things like, I actually had some little pockets in my bra where we stashed money, and I put $100 bills. Because the other thing is, you know, they can check your bags and they can check. We didn't want the money to get stolen. It was really unnerving to carry this kind of money over, but we knew we had to. So we went over with $20,000, $30,000, and we started shopping in Dar es Salaam. That was an interesting ordeal, but we did find a Toyota Land Cruiser with a snorkel. We bought it. We started driving up to the border. And when we got to the border, just as we thought, they tried to tell us, you have to pay taxes to bring that vehicle. So we're in a panic and we don't know what to do. And I thought, well, he's not going to let us through the border. We're probably going to have to sleep in the car or buy the car. In the meantime, we had a high school that we were supporting in Nakandi. It was Mwenzo Girls High School, an all-girls high school. And I said, well, since we're stuck at the border, I think I'll just take a taxi and go over, and at least we'll have one of our schools finished, because when we go over, we like to go and meet the students that are on our program at each of our schools. So I said, you guys sit here and try to figure out how to get it through the border. And they said, yeah, right. And, you know, I said, well, you know, I'll go up to our high school. This is again, I feel like God had a hand in this one as well, because I got to the school and they were having a little PTA, what I call PTA. They had some teachers and parents in the office. And I said, I'm here to pay for my students. And at the time, for $1 American, it was 5,000 kwacha. So when I wrote out the check to pay for my students, we had 20 girls at the school, my check was in the millions, like it was, you know, 1,400,000 or something. It was lots. You guys can figure that out. But as I was leaving, I met the girls, I took a picture of the girls, greeted everyone, and I was in a hurry, and this man, I was running back to catch the taxi that was waiting for me, and this man came running out, and he says, wait a minute, madam, stop. And I stop. He's like, who are you? And I said, well, we're the Zambia Scholarship Fund, and we're helping schools in Zambia. And he says, but, and I said, we're very small. We're just a small. He goes, no, you just wrote a check for 1 million kwacha. This is not small. I need to know more about this. I need to know. And I said, well, I don't have time because we have a vehicle stuck at the border and they won't let our vehicle through. And he says, oh, no, they can't do that. Get in my truck. He says, he tells the taxi to leave. Get in my truck and tell me all about it. And he had this little broken down, some kind of truck, and I'm hoping that it will make it to the border, and I'm telling him the story, and as we're riding along, and he's just saying, I've never heard of this. I've never heard of, and you don't make any money doing this, and everybody in America, everyone, whoa, you know. He said, don't you worry about your vehicle. I will get your vehicle through the border. And I was thinking, okay, I don't know who he is. I don't know, but he convinced me he was going to get it through. And so here's the man at the border. He had this little office in this little room, and he says, just wait here. You two just wait here. Let me handle this. He goes in, and we hear this, you know, and they're talking in Bemba, and all of a sudden the man at the border comes out. Now the border closes at 3 p.m. It's already 3 o'clock, and the gates are shut. And we're caught in between the Tunduma side and the Nakande side. And he just comes marching out. He goes, open the gate. The man at the gate opens up the gate. He says, you can go through. And we can go through? Yes, you can just go through. And he said, but you have 10 days to get that vehicle registered. And then you bring me back the registration to show that you registered that vehicle. I said, okay, we'll do it. And we were thrilled. They just opened the gate. They let just our vehicle through. He shut the gate behind us. And again, I don't know who the man is. I don't know what he said, but we were through.